the F out.
All right, welcome to episode number 9 of the ECWF podcast. We will not get the F out. We put the F back in. I'm your host, Sean Bickey, with my co-host, Ryan Counted. And on this episode, we have Jim Cornell, one half of the Wild Eye Southern Boys. Real quick before we get into it, guys, I want to give a shout out to Sean Patrick Mullen. Once again, I want to thank him. He's kind of like our ECWF champion, if you will. He's been lining up all these interviews for us and really getting behind this thing and keeping it going. And Jim, he's like our second biggest supporter, really. He's like our IC champ, if you will. Give a shout out to him real quick. I want to say thank you to those two guys for really supporting us. Also, I want to give a special shout out to one of our listeners, Benjamin Stewart. He works for the military police. He's in the Army, currently stationed in Alaska. I want to say thank you for listening and helping spread the word for us. And most importantly, thank you for serving our country. So I'm going to stop my little rant here, and we're going to get into the interview with Jim.
Well, yeah, it's fine. You got the time. And that's it to get yourself in. And here is time.
All right, we're back on the podcast here with Jim Cornell. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
We're
Thanks
good.
for having me on.
We're good. No problem. Thank you for being on. I want to get right into it. You're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, I live in North Carolina, but at the present time, I'm also down in San Antonio, Texas, where I'm currently living in the summer. Where I live in North Carolina through the winters.
Oh, okay. How does that work? I mean, for like wrestling wise.
I travel everywhere I can. You know, I just jump on a plane and go wherever all they want me to go.
You got those frequent flyer miles.
What's that?
You got some frequent flyer miles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about growing up like in North Carolina and that.
I'm not originally from North Carolina. I moved down here. I'm originally from that little state up north called Rhode Island. That's that little state that borders Massachusetts and Connecticut that nobody knows too much about.
Yeah.
I was born and raised there, and moved out of there because I couldn't take it no more. The wrestling up there wasn't all that big anymore, so I moved down to North Carolina, Flair Country, and then from there I moved to San Antonio, Texas, where I live there, and that's where I do most of my wrestling from.
Now, did you move out of, you said because the wrestling wasn't that good. I mean, how old were you then?
Then I was only 18, 19 years old when I first started. I was still in high school. The promotion I was working for up there was the NEWA. It was the New England Wrestling Alliance. And when I started with them, the owner, his name was Rocco D'Alessandro, he had thought I was in college because I was 6 foot, 237 pounds. And I said, hell no, I'm still in high school. I just turned 18 when I got into the business. And he was like, oh, shit, I thought you were older than that. I said, nope. He said, you look older than what you actually are. So.
Was that something that helped you or kind of hurt you?
No, it helped me out a little bit. You know, I mean, I started, like I said, I started off with him. You know, I didn't start off getting, wrestling right away. I started off at the bottom just like everybody else does. You know, I did help set up the wrestling ring, chairs, did security for about 6 months. You know, you got to pay your dues, somehow. And then after that, I started getting into the ring a little bit more and trained with those guys there. I also trained with, what the heck was his name? The Mountie, Pierre the Mountie.
Oh,
no, not the original. Not the original.
Oh, I'm going to say Jacques Rougeau.
Nope, not that one.
Okay.
The other one. When he had gotten, something happened to him, there was another guy that, I guess Vince had asked him to, because he looked almost identical. He didn't live too far from where I lived when I lived in Rhode Island, and I trained with him for about a year and a half, 2 years, and that's how I got into wrestling itself. Did about a year and a half, 2 years, I did some battle royals a lot. Just because I was still green. Um, and then after that, I left that company, went to another company, worked for a guy named Travis Funk, great guy. He brought me under his wing. And then after that, everything went great. I was getting more ring time, doing a lot more, traveling a little bit more throughout the Northeast. I was getting better title shots with them than I was with the previous company.
Okay. And what was the name of the wrestling school you went to?
The wrestling school I went to for a short period of time. Then it was just a time where I just couldn't make it all the time because I was working. So like I was saying, I couldn't get up there too much. So like I said, I talked to the Mountie. There was a gym I was going to, and he's like, you know what? He says, I'll work with you, and I ended up training with him for about a year and a half.
Okay. So how long before you had your first match?
It was about 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, it was about 2 years. It was about 98, 99
Okay.
when I had my regular first match.
How was that? I mean, nervous, scared, what?
It was a little nervous, the first time in front of a big crowd like that. And then once I get out there and everything else, I just did what I had to do, just blanked it all out, and that was pretty much it. Great guys I worked with. They showed me the ropes, basically showed me how to do everything, and gave them a great match, and they said I did a great match with them also. They said it was kind of hard to believe it was my first time out there. So, but yeah, it was pretty decent. I enjoyed it, and that's when I really fell in love with it even more. I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, I mean,
and go ahead.
Were you a big fan growing up?
Oh yeah, I grew up watching wrestling. Actually, believe it or not, before the first WrestleMania.
What are we talking, like early 80s?
Yeah, you're talking like 1980, 79, 80.
Okay.
Just before the first WrestleMania when Hogan and Mr. T took on Piper and Orton.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Orndorff.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean.
So who was the guy on top when you were growing up there?
The guy that was on top was actually Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay, of course.
He was he was the biggest one there, but I followed all of them. I didn't have a great one growing up until, believe it or not, until I started watching WCW or the NWA. It was Austin.
Okay.
When he was stunning Steve Austin, I started, he's the one that I was like, yep, I think this is where my calling is, and I started following him a little bit more, and I started wrestling just like him.
Yeah. Now, was it WCW and stuff because like you were down south at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay. Yep. So, okay, you got into wrestling. You started saying like, hey, I want to do this. Like, this is what I want to do for my career. Like, did you ever play any other sports stuff like in high school or?
In high school, I did a little bit of baseball, football. I did football for a year. I grew up doing track and cross country, and then I tried getting into the high school wrestling, and then I went to one practice, and I was like, no, there ain't no way. I can't do this. I got to be in a wrestling ring and not on a mat, a little circle like this. Like, no, nothing like that, flips and shit like that. I can't deal with that crap.
Right. Right.
I need to put a chair in my hand and crack somebody over the head with it.
Nice. Sounds good. Okay. So I mean, what were your parents like when like you made the decision to say like I'm doing this for a career?
My dad was like, whatever. My mom, she didn't like it. My mom's like, well, you're gonna get hurt. I don't want you doing it.
Of course, man.
You know, I was like, well, come to a couple of my matches and see what you think of it. You know, they went to all my matches. You know, my mom, my dad, my sister, my landlords. They actually went. You know, I had like my own little cheering section. But you know, like I said, my mom didn't like it at all because always getting hit and you know leaving the ring, you know, bleeding and stuff like that. And she actually went up to one of my friends and said, "You hit my son like that one more time." She goes, "I'm gonna knock you the fuck out." I'm like, "Mom, don't worry about it. I'm fine." She goes, "I don't like it. Look at the bruises." I was like, "Don't worry about it. Just stop. Knock it off."
That's great. You said you had your landlord there. Did you ever work out a deal like, yeah, I'll hook you up with some tickets, hook you up with some rent?
Yeah, they always get in for free. That was it. That was their deal.
Nice. Smart.
You know, my whole family got in for free.
Yeah.
You know, and then you know, then I got into then when I left there, went to a company called Showcase Pro Wrestling. That was another one of my landlords. He owned the company. Great guys I worked with. It was always me and him that would leave the house early. We'd go set the ring up. You know, that was how I paid my dues to him. You know, I would go help him set the ring up, set, you know, everything, the chairs, the whole 9 yards, and you know, and then I would also wrestle at the same time. And he would tell me, he says, "All right, keep your hands off the ref." I said, "All right." I said, "I'll try my best." I said, "I can't guarantee it."
Hey, where does that come from?
You know, it was just because the kind of matches I was into. You know, I was always hitting everybody with chairs. And I just look at the ref and just stand there and look at me and say, "No, you can't. Don't do it." And everybody's like, "Do it, do it." He's like, "You do it, I'm gonna disqualify you, this, that, and everything else."
I was gonna say.
So I just look around.
I was gonna say like a Terry Funk almost.
Yeah, the fans. You know, I get what the fans want, and that's it. The ref got cracked over the head, and the owner, Chris Blackheart was his name. He just looked at me and put his head down and just shake his head like, I told you not to do it. You know, and then from then on, a lot of the referees refused to get in the ring.
Of course.
They didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
you know,
I wouldn't want to either.
I'm like, well, you know, that's just me. You know, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? I got my own ref. I got my ref, and I got a hold of my brother. His name's Lou. I was like, "Louie," I was like, "I need you." He was like, "All right." He says, "What do you need?" I said, "I need a ref." He's like, "Screw you." I was like, "Come on." I was like, "Let me fuck." And my mom's like, "You better not." I'm like, "Ma," I said, "he won't get hurt." I said, "Trust me." She goes, "Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of."
He was afraid.
Yeah, he was afraid. My brother's older than I am.
So I want to hear what
older than I was.
I want to get with a fucking chair. What the hell?
You know, and then I would just look at him, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna hit the ref with a chair? You're gonna hit the ref with a chair?" You know, all these. You know, I'd be standing out there, you know, talking to some of the fans and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna hit the ref?" I was like, "Nah, I don't know." I said, "You have to wait and find out, see what happens." You know, I said, "Who knows? This might be a." I was like, "I don't know. I don't know who my ref is yet." I said, "It could be a girl." I said, "You know, I won't crack a girl over the head with a chair." Yeah, right.
Why not?
So, you know, I'd come out, you know, and then I look in the ring, and sure enough, it was my brother. You know, yeah, he was biting his fingers. And I look over at my parents and my family, and they're like shaking their heads and said, "Don't you do it." And I have a big smile on my face and like, "Yeah, I know who's getting cracked."
Wait, okay. Now be honest. Was that kind of like payback from all the years of growing up, him beating on you a little bit?
Hell no.
No?
He still can't do it.
Oh,
no.
you could always you could always take him.
My family comes to me when they got problems.
Okay.
You know, and they're like, "Yep, I'll go get my nephew or my cousin," and it's like, you know, why is everybody got to come to me?
You're that guy.
You know, I got my own problems.
Okay.
But
All right, so some of the first companies you worked for it was UPWA. You started in there?
No, the first company I started off with, like I said, was the NEWA.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You know, getting back to them real quick, I started off with them. I had gone to a school and saw, you know, the U-Haul and everything else, and asked what was going on. They said, oh, it was a wrestling show and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll come check it out. And this was before I just got into it. And then I happened to know a couple of kids that were actually wrestling for the company. I actually went to school with them, and I didn't know what they were doing. And that's how I got into it. And then I really got into it was because of up in the New England area, they were doing a lot of it for charity. You know, the kids in the hospitals and stuff like that. And that's what drew me into it. You know, I don't do it for myself. I do it for kids, you know. And that's my pay. My payday is watching these kids leaving the arena with big smiles on their faces, coming up to me or my fellow workers and stuff like that, you know, shaking their hands and saying, hey, you had a great match. Can't wait to see you again. You know, then they want pictures and stuff like that. You know, that's a payday for me. You know, money doesn't mean nothing. It's them kids walking out with big smiles on their faces, and the parents are happy that they're happy because they enjoyed seeing a bunch of guys just beating the heck out of each other.
Right. Now, I mean, have you ever had a parent or kid go in there like not knowing what to expect, and like they see like kind of your like hardcore style and like, oh man, like I hate that.
Oh yeah, I've actually had kids come. There was actually I did one in Massachusetts, and I've actually had the parents and the kids throwing chicken bones at me because they hated me. You know, because I was yelling at the kid and you know something like that, and the promoter was like, well, if you lose this match, you have to go apologize to stand there at the door and apologize to every single person that goes through that door. I ain't kiss my ass. I ain't doing that. Well, guess what? I lost, and I had no choice if I wanted to keep my job. You know, but that's what I do. You know, I don't do it for per se for the money. I do it for the kids. Okay. You know, to help out for the charities and stuff like that. And that's what I like doing it for.
Okay. So you said 22 years you've been in the business already?
Yeah, but about 22 years. Yep.
Wow. I mean, how much longer do you think you could go out there?
You know that question's asking me a lot. I'm thinking another probably 3-4 years.
Okay.
You know, I'm 40 years old now. But you know, it's hard to say. You know, I could do it for another 3 years. I mean, I can get in the ring next week and something happens, I could be done. You know, right. It's just a type of wrestling that I like to do where I never know what's going to happen. You know, I mean, I've already gone through 6 concussions, and I mean, sometimes I forget what the hell I'm doing, or I don't even know what the hell I did 2 days ago. Really? But I know what I did months ago or years ago.
Yeah, short-term memory
loss.
So,
yeah.
Okay, a couple other promotion I want to talk about. I think I saw PCNFW.
Yes, that was strictly hardcore. That was Primal Conflict. That was based out of Massachusetts. That's where I actually met New Jack.
Oh, okay.
I was actually there just to see it because I wasn't wrestling at the time. I was taking some time off, and they needed a ref. And my next door neighbor was wrestling for the company, and he says, "Hey, come here." I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Well, I need you to ref tonight." I'm like, "Dude, I only came here to watch it, not to do it." So I was like, "All right, no problem."
I was gonna say, do you have your brother with you? He could have refed real quick, but go ahead.
Yeah, my brother probably would have got killed. So I was like, all right, no problem. So I did it, and that's when I met New Jack, and I was his ref, matter of fact, and I think I got too close to him, and he had said something, and I went to say, what did you say? And the next thing you know, a beer bottle come across. I was like, shit. Just as I moved, and he ended up slicing my ear. I thought I was going to end up like Mick Foley.
Wait, from New Jack?
Yeah, he sliced the back of my ear with
shit.
with a beer bottle.
Damn.
You know, and I go home, take a shower, and I was like, I was like, back of my ear was stinging. And then I had told my mom to look what a stupid mistake that was. And she was like, yeah.
Mom freaks
your
out.
ear
Yeah.
is full of blood. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, I don't know what happened. And then I went back and watched watched the replay. I was like, that's what happened. New Jack caught me with the beer bottle.
Yeah, so you didn't even like feel it when it happened, anything like that?
No, I didn't even feel it or
Oh.
nothing. Didn't even feel it. Nope. I was like, well, that's what happened.
So did he? I mean, obviously, like it was intentional,
No,
though,
he
right?
didn't.
Or no?
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
he didn't do it.
I thought
it was a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he went to swing, and just as I ducked, he had hit the ring post with it, and I guess just as he come down, I was standing a little too close, and like I said, I didn't even feel it anyway.
Right.
But I felt it right after, though.
Dang. Oh, okay. You mentioned Showcase Pro before. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, like I said, that was I lived downstairs from the guy. He was the promoter, and he was also my
Landlord.
my landlord. So and he was like, "Hey, I got a show. You want to come?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go with you." And I set up the ring with him all the time. Then we'd go out to have lunch, dinner, whatever. Did a lot for him. Did a lot of wrestling for him. Traveled everywhere with them, Mass, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Met bushwhackers, great guys. Did a few spots with him over there. Did a couple of things with King Kong Bundy with him. Another great guy.
Okay. Sorry, we're jumping around here a little bit, but going back to the PC NFW, you said like you started as a ref there. Like, how did you become a wrestler then?
Yeah. I was already wrestling, but like I said, I had to take some time off.
Mm-hmm.
I got into some trouble, and it's something of another day. Had nothing to do with wrestling or anything like that. So I just went to go watch it, and I just started doing some started referencing some shows for them. I took some personal time away from the ring for a while because I got hurt, and I didn't want nobody knowing about it. It was my back.
Mm.
So I was like, yeah. So I took some time out. I had my L2 and L3 in my back. I was in a lot of pain, and I went through a table, and I must have landed wrong. And they actually wanted to do surgery, and I said, hell no. So I took some time away from the wrestling ring, and just started promoting with the with PCF&W, and I did a little spot here and there for ref, being a referee for them, and that was it. And then something happened with them, and that's when I ended up leaving them and went to another company.
Okay. Well, I mean that was cool though. Like they still kept you around. Like when you're hurt, you could still ref.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the guy that owned the PCF&W, I grew up. I worked with him at a previous company when he was wrestling there, and he went and opened up his own company.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Hardcore Champ at XCW? Is that right?
Yes. Yep. XCW. Yep. That was down in North Carolina. I wrestled there. I've been wrestling for them for about 3 years. I still wrestle for them periodically. I wrestled a guy named Justin Zane. It was for his hardcore title, and he was like, "Well, I want to do a barbed wire match."
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was like, "Okay, fine." He goes,
Didn't take much convincing.
What's that?
Didn't take much convincing.
No, not at all. He was like, "Well, this is what I want to do." He says, "The first time I've ever done it, I want to replace the ring ropes with the barbed wire." I said, "Okay, that's fine." He goes, "You're down for it?" I was like, yeah, fine, whatever, I don't care. And so I ended up doing that match. Got cut open pretty good. Nothing severely where I had to go to the hospital for, thank God. And then I ended up beating him there for his title. And about 6 months later, ended up back at the same arena, and he was there, and he got kind of, for the 6 months he was upset because he lost his title to me. It was the first time he's wrestled me and everything else, and ended up wrestling this other guy, and of course, they didn't want a same kind of match. Had to be a regular hardcore match, and he was on the commentating table, and he snuck around, come around, and cracked me with the stop sign. And when he cracked me just right, split my head wide open, needed 19 staples, and ended up with a massive concussion. So I couldn't see. Blood was dripping everywhere. So the ref had to stop the match. I'm like, no, just continue. I said, we'll go another couple of minutes. He's like, no, I can't. It was blood all over the place. I can't do it. Well, I made it even better. I cracked him over the head with the chair. And, and then the other guy, Justin, snuck back in, cracked me again, knocked me out, ended up losing my title. So I still got a grudge against him, and I'm still hunting him down.
Yeah.
And I think he's hiding from me. He doesn't want to get in the ring with me again because he knows he's gonna get an ass beat.
Right. Okay.
So, and then that night I went home and tried hiding it from my wife, and she put my head up against the wall. I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower, and she looked. She's sort of bloody. She goes, "What the F was that?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "That." I was like, "Uh-oh." She pulled my head down and took a picture of the big gash, and like, "You need staples." I said, "Just put super glue on it and call it a night."
Nice.
So I didn't end up going to the hospital. I just put super glue in it, waited 3 or 4 days for it to dry up, and that was it. Went to work the following day.
No shit.
With a concussion, and that was it. I drive tractor trailers for a living.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, nope, no hospital for me. Don't need it. 69-cent super glue, that works just as well.
Awesome.
I don't go to the hospital for nothing when from wrestling.
Yeah.
I won't go.
Yeah.
I'll go home, drink some Jack or something like that, and go to bed, and that's it.
Nice.
Can't do it.
Okay. Pawtucket heavyweight champion?
I'm sorry?
Pawtucket heavyweight champion?
Yep.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. There, I just started with that company. This was back in 2000, I believe, 2001. It was a young crowd of kids. I think they were still in high school, 10th, 11th graders or something. And, they had this one guy there, and he was leaving the company, and they wanted him to drop his title. So they asked me if I wanted to work him. I was like, yeah, all right. I said, I'll work with him. He's like, he's kind of new and everything you do. Like, you've been in it for 5-6 years. I was like, all right, no problem. And didn't know it, and they ended up giving me the title. And I was actually getting ready to leave Rhode Island when I was moving down south. I'm like, this isn't going to work out. I'm like, you're giving me the title, and I'm leaving in like 2 months. And they're like, well, all right, we got another show coming up, and before you leave, and we'll have you drop it then. I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, something happened. That match didn't happen, and if you ask me personally, I think I'm still the heavyweight champion up there. Like 18, 19 years later.
There you go.
I never lost it.
I mean,
so.
Do you still have the belt?
No, the kid kid took the belt home with him.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'm moving down south, so
yeah, but
I'll leave the belt with you.
But you never got beat for it.
I never got beat for it.
There you go.
Nope.
I think that might be the longest reigning champion in wrestling history, maybe.
Yeah, an independent. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going. I'm going back up to Rhode Island in July. I'm being inducted into the Rhode Island Wrestling Hall of Fame up there. And
Congratulations!
as a matter of fact, the guy that owns that title, he's got a show going on up there in July. So maybe I'll take the title and.
So yeah, I never lost this.
Going
Thank
there
you.
as the champion, you know.
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take my title back and I'll take it home with me.
I'll take what I never lost. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I eat that one. Bruno Sammartino can fuck on that one.
You got nothing on me.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
A weird place I really ever wrestled. I've actually been a match in Rhode Island with this young kid, and somehow the match ended up in a freaking men's room. ended up finishing in the freaking ladies' room, and the ladies' room had some women in it, and that was probably about the latest one, where I ended up beating the dog snot out of him with a freaking toilet brush. So I took the toilet brush out of the toilet. Dog snot out of him with it.
Nice. Okay.
That was about the only weird place I've actually. I have to honestly say about the weirdest place I've actually done a match was in a ladies' room.
Okay. Okay. Talk about Buddy Langley, Wild Eye Southern Boys.
Yeah, Buddy Langley. Like I said, great guy. My tag team partner. He's out of commission right now. He had to have knee surgery. I talked to him the other day, and he's in rehab. So he said he's ready to go. He said let him know when the next match is, so he wants to get back in there and stop busting heads.
Okay. And where does the tag team name come from? Wild Eye Southern Boys.
Together, they really have an actual name, but everybody liked it, so I think we're just going to stick with it.
Okay.
We're just two guys from the South that just hates things and hates people and just like sitting there and drinking beers and smashing people over the head when we're done with them.
Okay, and how long have you been with him now?
We've been together for about a year.
Okay, and is that something you prefer, like tag wrestling or singles wrestling?
I'll do. It doesn't really matter to me. Do singles. If you want me and my partner will go together, or if we have to wrestle each other, we'll wrestle each other. I'll do whatever it takes.
Mhm. Okay. You want to talk about some of your current feuds going on now?
Current feuds, like I said, the biggest one I've got right now is with Justin Zane, and I know he's listening, so just watch it back because you know damn well I'm coming for your ass. Another one, Bionic Bull Dan Badani. He's a nice guy and everything. I kind of grew up with him in the business. He's up there in the Northeast. He's been out for about 5-6 years. He's getting back in next month, actually, and I'm trying to get him to sign a contract to do a hardcore match with me, and he won't do it. I think he's afraid also.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why people. It's just a chair. A chair don't hurt that much.
Yeah. Okay.
The metal chairs, they tickle a little.
Yeah. Sure.
And then this other one, Little Donnie. He's the one currently holding my hardcore title in North Carolina, XCW. Little Donnie knows, and I've been telling him to watch his back because he knows I'm coming back for my title because I was robbed. It took 4 guys to beat me for that thing.
Yeah.
It was him and 3 other guys along with Justin Zane. It took 4 guys to beat my ass for that title. So he knows he knows I'm on the hunt for my title back, and I will get it back.
Okay. Do you want to tell the story about your wife stealing your gear?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was getting my stuff ready to go do a show, and I go through my bags and everything else, make sure I've got everything. And I was looking for my vest and my chaps. I'm like, where in the hell where's my gear? And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. It should be in there. I was like, well, it's not here. And she knew I was pissed because she's the one. She's the one that bought it all. She bought my vest, my chaps. She bought me my boots because when I first started off, when I met her, I was wearing wrestling sneakers and stuff like that. She goes, if you're gonna be doing it, you're doing it the right way. So she went to High Spots and bought me my boots, $500 later, and looking, like I said, looking all over the place for it. Well, I go to work and I come back, still couldn't find it. I'm like, where in the hell is it? And she was laughing. It was my birthday, and her and a landlord went and had my gear airbrushed because it was just plain.
Mm-hmm.
And and it came out beautiful. Smoke coming up the chaps and everything else. The back had like a little town all in smog and fire and everything. It came out awesome. And they started laughing and they knew I was pissed because I had to work. I had to do a show without my gear. I felt like I lost. I had to don. I lost it on the plane. But they hawked it and had it all airbrushed. And like I said, it came out great. And I loved it for it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something that she did for me, and I appreciate it till this day, and I still love it. So, and that's what happened there.
Okay. You talk about some of the guys you worked with over the years.
Oh yeah, King Kong Bundy, Virgil. Virgil was kind of a dickhead.
Oh.
There was a show I was doing. He refused to work unless he got paid.
Of course.
Well, nobody knew how to get back to the office but me. So the promoter's like, hey, do me a favor, run back to the office, go get the check, and come back. I was like, all right, no problem. He's like, he won't fucking work until he gets it. It was about an hour before the show started. So I was like, all right, I'll be back. Well, by the time I got back, that son of a bitch wrestled and everything and took off, didn't even get his check.
Oh,
and
man.
that prick cost me a freaking heavyweight title shot.
Wow.
So they had to redo the card and everything else. So I ended up losing out that whole deal. Rick Martel, another great guy, until he cracked me over the head with his spray can. It wasn't deliberately. I went out a little too far. Then when he come across and cracked me over the head, hit me right in the temple with it. But damn, that knocked me the frick out. Tito Santana, Greg Valentine, two great legends. Talk to them all the time at shows. Worked with them. They told me some of my matches, best way of doing it. What I needed to work on, what I didn't need to work on, and they're great guys.
Okay.
I miss them.
I think you mentioned Jake Roberts before. Is that right?
Jake Roberts. Yep. Did a show with him. I ended up getting in the ring during a feud that was going on with him and somebody else. And just as I turned around, he ended up giving me a DDT and put the snake around my neck and everything else. And I was just laying there. I was like, this son of a bitch didn't tell me he was doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy, and we got in the back, and he's like, "Hey, you all right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Thanks for letting me know you were doing it." He's like, "Yeah, but you did all right." So I was like, "All right, good." That's all I care about.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
The Warlord, another guy I was telling you about. Great guy, huge. I stood next to him. I thought I looked like a midget.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm 6 foot, and real great guy. After the show, we went out. Me and a few other guys from the show and hung out for the night and everything else. And that was about it with him. I mean, I didn't get to work. I didn't get to work him, but in a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Yeah,
He
right.
probably would cut me in half.
He's a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Stone Cold.
Yep.
That's your guy.
Oh yeah. Yep. And that, oh yeah. I mean, I believe it or not, like I said, I'm 40 years old. I idolize that guy.
Hey, I named my son after him. So.
Did you really?
My son's name is Austin. Yep.
Well, it's funny you say that because I know my family's listening because I told them about me coming on the show and everything, and I know everybody's listening. My son, his name is Steve Austin.
No shit.
And they actually think I named him after him, but I really didn't. My wife wanted to name him after our next door neighbor. His name was Steve. I wanted to name him Austin, so we just put it together, and that's what his name is now.
Awesome. That's cool. That's great.
He wanted to name him Austin Steve, and I was like, no, that don't sound right, so we'll name him Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And everybody like, yep, that you did it because of Stone Cold. I was like, no, that's not why I did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I idolize the guy, still do, even though he's not wrestling anymore. I'm 40 years old, and I still buy his merchandise and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I've got about 10, 15 grand worth of memorabilia of his, and I still collect it.
Nice. Now, is that something maybe to pass on to your Steve Austin?
Yeah, I mean, he likes the wrestling. He wants to get into it. But, I told him, you want to wrestle? That's fine with me. When you're old enough, I would never stop any of my kids from doing what they want. They want to wrestle, you wrestle. You want to do something other than wrestling? That's fine. That's fine too. I've got 7 kids. I've got 4 of my own, and I've got 3 stepkids. But I don't treat them all different. I treat all my kids the same. I love all my kids the same. And, I'll stand behind them 100%. Whatever they decide they want to do in life, you don't want to wrestle? Don't. Because you know what? There's nobody in my family that was a professional wrestler or that was in the wrestling business anyway. I did it because I wanted to. It was something I wanted to do on my own.
Right.
So.
Okay. So you said you're 40 and you got maybe a couple years left. Do you have like a dream opponent you haven't worked with yet that you would like to before you're done?
Yes. I would always, and I've watched him for years and years and years. Hardcore Terry Funk. I would love to get in the wrestling ring with him, and I think the reason being is because he does what I idolize, hardcore wrestling. I love it. I would love to get into a ring with him and do a hardcore match before I actually hung it up for good. I idolize that guy for what he's done, paving the way for the younger generation. Anybody that's actually in the business that's paved the way for the younger generation for letting them to go out and do what they do and show you what they can do. And that's who I'd love to get into a ring with.
Did you ever have the opportunity to meet him?
I've actually had a couple of shots to meeting him in North Carolina when I was in town, but work comes first. I couldn't. I missed him by like a couple of hours.
Okay.
It was right down the street from where I was at, and I just couldn't make it. I had a problem with my truck, and but I mean, I will see him.
Okay.
He will be, from what I understand, he'll be back in North Carolina again. He loves the people in North Carolina. He said they treated him like family, and so yeah, I know I'll definitely see him probably before the end of the year. I'm sure he'll be back here again.
We're kind of winding down here a little bit.
Yep.
Do you want to any shout outs or any plugs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, just shout out to Sean Mullen. I know you had him on a couple of days ago,
Yes.
and he's a good guy and everything. He better get his act together and get me some matches before I beat his ass. But no, I'm kind of waiting for my partner, until he's ready. Dan Badandi, as he calls himself, the Bulldog, but Justin Zane and Little Donnie. Like I said, you three better just watch your asses, because when I'm on the hunt, I'm not going to stop until I get my hands on you three. And when I do, it's not going to be pretty.
Are you on Facebook, Twitter, all that? You want to?
Yeah, I've actually got a Facebook page, Twitter. Facebook is just Jim Cornell. You can look me up on there. You'll see me and my tag team partner on that. I've got a Twitter account, Jim316, and that's about it.
All right.
I get on as much as I can, but I'll tell you though, ever since I've been putting you guys out there on doing the show with you guys, my Facebook friends list just keeps growing and growing and growing. I don't understand why.
Hey. we're trying to.
I'm only putting you guys out there because you guys get great guys coming on, and just helping you guys out.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, but hey, I'll accept anybody. I could be a nice guy, but just cross me once, and you bet your ass you're gonna get a chair across the skull.
There it is.
Me up and let me, actually backing me up. Even though they didn't like it, but letting me do what I've done in the 22 years. I love them for it. My mom kind of settling down a bit on it, but my brother kind of stepping away from it a little bit more because I guess he's getting sick of the headaches.
Stop hitting me with chairs, damn it.
Yeah. Just my family in general. I was talking to a friend of mine last night. His name is David Ray in Rhode Island. I keep in touch with my Rhode Island family. They think I'm getting big out here, and I don't think I am. But you know what, Dave? You're still my little family. Those little people up there. You might think I'm big out here, but I still consider you little people up there my family.
Nice. That's what it's about, yeah.
Yep. But, like I said, I enjoy what I do. I love it. And, like I said, if my kids decide to want to put those boots on after I hang them up, I'll stand behind them 100%.
Look for the next Steve Austin.
Yeah, right. The only ones I might have a problem with are my grandkids, my daughters, no.
Oh, hard no.
My daughters, I might protect them a little bit more than I should. My daughter Adriana, my daughter Hope, and my other daughter Pune Ann. I love them three girls so much that I don't want nothing to happen to them. But my boys, if they end up getting their asses beat, you expect your ass and daddy's going to follow right behind it because you shouldn't be getting your ass beat. I taught you well, but you never know. Don't know what the future is going to hold,
Okay.
Hey guys, this is the Cowboy, and I'm on the podcast of ECWF. Great guys, great show. Check it out. It'll be on Facebook, and check it out and give us your feedback. Y'all have a great night. God bless. And don't forget, tomorrow's Mother's Day. And don't forget, call your mothers or give your mothers a big hug and say thank you for putting you on this earth. Because without them, you wouldn't be here.
All right, that was our episode with Jim Cornell. I want to apologize. There was a couple audio hiccups in there in the middle and throughout. But we got through it. It was fine. Still came out good. While we were doing the interview, Jim was on the road because he's a truck driver, like you said. So he was driving, hit a couple dead zones. We lost him, kind of broke up. And we made it work. So To get our plugs in, iTunes. Please subscribe to the podcast, Electric City Wrestling Fans. Like, rate, review, all that stuff, 5 stars. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and tell their friend to tell their friend to tell a friend. I'm trying to start a little network here, you get the idea. Facebook page, Facebook group page, Electric City Wrestling Fans. Add if you haven't already, add as many people as you can. And I want to thank Sean Patrick Mullen once again for being our ECWF champion. And Jim Cornell is our ECWF Intercontinental champion, if you will. And support Jim. Book him. Bring him to your show. He'll drive his truck to your show. All right, guys. Thanks.